Hey everybody, did you know you can go to colinmullen.com in order to get art and art prints? It's why I set up the website, colinmullen.com. So hey everybody, I've been talking about commissions and stuff a lot recently, but I feel like I still don't have those thoughts totally formalized yet. So I don't really want to go into that concept yet because I don't know as if I can really accurately describe how I'm feeling about it or how I want to approach it or any of that. That doesn't really help anyone. So instead, we're going to be talking about something that Two Guy said a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, on the November No Fish game dev update that I did. The art in the background that you're seeing right now is for the same game. So there you are. This will be Queen's house. She's a little frog creature with a hat, and she has some neurotic problems, but overall she's good people, and we'll take care of you. Anyway, I personally find that the influence that I get from other media can start to be to the point that I am literally just remaking it, especially when it comes to music and I'm trying to write a riff. I'll accidentally just rewrite a riff that I've heard recently. That's not good. And that's actually fairly annoying. And so to avoid that thing happening, though I don't know as if that would happen with game development, to avoid having that happen to me, I'm like, okay, I know that happens with music, and to a lesser extent art. I'll see something in art and I'll go, I will try out that technique, but I think that everyone has their own aesthetic to a certain degree that, like, I am so different from that, like, I can, take an element that I see in another person's work and go, okay, they really liked using magenta here. That's rad. I actually really like the way they use magenta in this piece. I will use magenta in my next piece because I saw that worked for them. But obviously it's not going to be the same subject matter. It's not going to be the same anything. It's just like a color choice or something. Whereas game mechanics, I feel like, are a little bit closer to like a full concept of a game. A complete work. This is definitely something that I'm like working through, and I'm not actually sure if, as a game developer, will me playing games make me want to change my game to have that mechanic. I've also known game developers who do that, and they go, oh, well, this game has that, and we should add that to our game. Then it becomes feature creep to some degree. I have a very clear vision on where I want this game to go. No Fish is essentially what would be a Town of Nowhere or March of the Mice style thing normally, but it's like, well, normally, like, if I didn't know how to program, which I basically don't, but if I wasn't able to program at all, that's where I would have brought this story instead. But because I now have this skill set, I can do it in a different way. When I was making March of the Mice, I intentionally made sure I did not have access to my Redwall books. I grew up with Redwall. It definitely influenced me. I think that little woodland creatures is like, a thing. It has been a thing since at least Redwall, if not before then, that they have little human societies sort of thing. And then, I think that too closely being involved with something can be a bad influence. But sometimes you can take those influences, and if it's so outside of what you've got there, then it actually provides a cool reference point. So for example, in the Town of Nowhere, I had been listening to a lot of like radio dramas. Nothing about radio dramas really connects into the way that the Town of Nowhere was played, which was, a chat integrated D&D campaign essentially. But like, I loved some of the characters from that, and I'm like, okay, we can bring some of the character ideas from this into some of these characters, and it'll be funny because they're completely out of the context where it would make sense for them to be acting that way, and so now they just act like a weirdo like everyone else in town. I find that very funny. That's cool. That's good. If I'm sitting around playing my acoustic and I start playing, a heavier riff, then that, a metal song would have, and I go, dang, that actually sounds pretty cool. That's great. Similarly, you can try doing a, very classical melody on an electric. You add some distortion, you've just reinvented metal essentially, but that's what you've got. By listening to or experiencing things that are completely not related to the thing that I enjoy, I find it's a lot easier for me to separate out those things. I don't know if game dev is going to be the same for me, but considering the way that music is, and to a lesser degree art is, I worry that it would be, and I would rather have myself able to think clearly without trying to add feature creep, without trying to add things that other games did just because other games had them. Those games are good, those games have cool stuff, but I don't know as if they would benefit me in my game, and it would just make them kind of generic, because after a while, if every game has a certain mechanic, then every game will have that mechanic, and then that just becomes a thing that fishing games have, or first-person shooters have, or platforms have. It's not a thing that's unique or cool about that game, it's just this generic thing about the genre. I don't want that. I don't want my game to be a generic game of the genre. I don't think that this game is particularly a game of any genre. I would say that it's a card game with social links. I think that web fishing is a fishing game where you talk to your friends online. It seems neat, but the fishing mechanics are... I worry that I might run into something that's very similar, but maybe my worries are unfounded. Maybe I should just play the game. I don't know. And hey, if you liked this talk, you can go to patreon.com/RevScarecrow and you can give me $5 or more. And if you do, you get to be in the credits here, which is cool of you. And also, did you know you could gift people that? You could gift them the ability to be in the credits here? So you could just like give them a patronness to me, and that's cool. That's what these people did. These people all bought it. That's a new feature. But anyway, thank you to my mom and dad. I love you. Thank you, Wapfu. Thank you, Tofoundor. Thank you, Split. Thank you, Sophia Nope. Thank you, Skelecorgi. Thank you, Reverend Joe. Thank you, Pig Wrestler. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Mortis. Thank you, Michael Carr. Thank you, Micah. Thank you, Mario Pereira. Thank you, Kayla Hollinger. Thank you, Katie Valent. Thank you, Josepher. Thank you, Gabriel Bennett. Thank you, Freak Wannabe. Thank you, Egg. Thank you, Count Cannoli. That's a new one. Hi, man. How you doing? Thank you, Chiptune Glitch. Thank you, Bep. Thank you, Amber. And thank you, Aggie Wag. Got you on that one. And thank you, Ats! Oh my god, it's like 10 a.m. I should not have done that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to hide so my neighbors don't kill me. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.